What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Friday's episode of the Plus Money Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Q. You can follow me on all socials at Bets by Q. And of course, this podcast is brought to you by Black Sheep Betting, where it is a dog's world. Check out the link in the description. It will be there this time. Come get access to the Discord. We're building a winning culture over there. We had a phenomenal play to end the night. I know we went 1-1 for the podcast yesterday, but we cleaned it up in the Discord with Terrence Atman, who's on like an Linsanity run right now in the Cincinnati Open. We cashed him at plus 270 in the Discord. So if you're not able to get some of the podcast plays, you definitely want to be in the Discord so you can get those plus money plays. It's the same deal. I give out plus money no matter what platform it is. But let's recap yesterday really quick. The Orioles absolutely dominated yesterday. I mean, probably the easiest pick of the day over in Camden Yards. They got out to like a 5-0 lead pretty early, had a rain delay for a few hours, ended up winning the match. And then we lost on Jerry Lehechka. You know, honestly, I'm going to stand by all of my picks all the time, but Jerry Lehechka, shout out Ben Show, and he played a phenomenal match, was very poised, but Jerry was in this match until the ninth game in each set. I mean, he got broken in the ninth game of each set. He lost 6-4, 6-4, unfortunately wasn't able to pressure Shelton as much as we thought he was going to, had very minimal break opportunities, so we finished 1-1 on the day, but it's Friday. Okay, and you know what Friday means? Friday means parlay day. Okay, so I got two plays for you. One is a parlay, the other is a straight bet. Let's just get to what people are talking about, right? Everybody wants the parlay. I'm gonna give it to you, all right? And here's my thing about parlays is I'm not gonna give you 4 or 5 legs because, like, honestly, at that point you might as well take that money, go to the gas station down the street, and buy a scratch off. All right. The goal here is to win. The goal here is to win with value. All right, so let's get into today's plus money 2-leg parlay. And we're sitting right at plus 180, the kind of ticket that I like because both legs, they have legitimate value. They aren't just long shots for the sake of plus odds. We're combining one run line play with the money line play. And I think the combination of this makes a lot of sense for how these games set up. So let's start in Toronto with the Blue Jays. We're going to be taking the plus 1.5 on the run line. I'm going to be real with you. This line, the money lines make no sense. The only reason why you're getting a plus money price on the money line for the Blue Jays is purely on name bias. Jacob deGrom is going to take the mound for the Texas Rangers, and his name is carrying all of the weight in this line. But this isn't the deGrom of 2018. It's not the deGrom of 2019. He has been a shell of his older self, and we've already seen Toronto beat him earlier this year. Look, I follow the AL West. I tend to just pick a division and stick to it. Sometimes I'll venture out, but for the most part, I follow a division in every single sport. That makes it easier for me to narrow down the slate. And it just makes it easy for me to be able to observe other teams while still having a focus on 5 particular teams. So we do get Chris Bassett on the mound today for Toronto, and yes, we know he has been subpar. His overall numbers are not going to blow you away, but the guy has been untouchable at home. He's 8-0 with a 2.56 ERA in Toronto, and that kind of dominance in your own park, you add in the fact that Texas is likely going to be missing Dolius Garcia, and he's a key piece in the middle of their order production. I feel like it tilts the balance even more in Toronto's favor tonight. So this run line, it gives us a little bit of a cushion. We don't need Toronto to win outright, even though I think that they do. But if they keep it close, we cash. And when you look at this matchup, I actually think they have a real shot to win. Toronto's offense, they've been heating up, and if deGrom doesn't have his best stuff, and I guess even if he does, but he can't go deep, that Texas bullpen is very vulnerable. I could see the under being the play here too, but I'm banking on Toronto's bats to really just do enough to make this plus 1.5 comfortable for us. Mind you, just a quick MLB betting tip. If you love the run line on teams, right, that minus 1.5, you never want to take that on the home team. So the fact that we're getting plus 1.5, that even gives us that ghost runner insurance. If this game goes to extras, right, Toronto is not the away team. They don't need to score multiple runs. They just need to score one and win. So if we get to extras and you're on a minus 1.5 and you're on the home team, I mean, you need a walk-off home run. And the batters that are coming up, they're not trying to do that. So this run line gives us that cushion. I love it here. Toronto plus 1.5. We're going to pair that with our second leg. It's going to be the Los Angeles Angels on the money line. This is a spot where I truly just trust the pitching matchup and the recent form. Kikuchi has been locked in. He's 2.81 ERA over his last 7 starts. He's mixing a lot of speed, hitting his spots, and generating a lot of swing and miss. I mean, those whiffs on his splitter and his curveball, I really do think that Oakland's going to have a lot of trouble putting the bat to the ball, even though Oakland has a phenomenal lineup as well. But he goes up against Jack Perkins for Oakland, and look, no shade to Jack Perkins, but this isn't a guy who's going to scare hitters. The Angels have had the Athletics number in this minor league ballpark that they're playing in right now. They've won multiple series here this year. They've handled business more often than not. I don't see that changing today. And offensively, LA, they can be streaky, but right now they're putting together quality at-bats. Taylor Ward is in a groove. Look, if you like some player props, Taylor Ward is where you want to look at right now. I think he's hit 2 home runs in his last 2 games. He's batting 280 in his last 286 in his last 7. The key for me here, though, is that the Angels don't have to win with margin here. They just have to win. I don't care how we get it done. I don't care if it's in extras. I don't care if it's by 20. I don't care if it's by 1. So that allows us to take advantage of this pitching mismatch without worrying about covering an extra 1.5, which has been a tricky spot for the Angels on the road, especially when they've been favorites. So what we're going to do, we're going to take that Toronto plus 1.5 with Bassett's home dominance and the Rangers team missing some firepower, and we're going to pair that with the Angels money line, banking on Kikuchi, outdueling Perkins, and LA continuing their success in Oakland. So together that's plus 180, and for me, it's 2 situations where I feel like we have the better team, or at least the better path to victory, with one giving us run line insurance and the other just needing to win outright. Let's put 1 unit on Toronto on the run line and the Angels on the money line, plus 185, 1 unit. Let's get it done. I will see you at the counter when it cashes. All right, moving on to our second pick of the day. Let's shift over to Cincinnati for really a blockbuster quarterfinal. You want to tune into this one. Arena Sabalenka versus Lena Rybakina. On paper, you can make a case for either player, but I'm going to break down to you why I'm taking Sabalenka to win this one in straight sets and why the plus 145 makes it worth the play. All right? We'll start with Sab. She's the defending champion here at Cincinnati, so obviously lots of points that she's defending. She's 4-0 lifetime in quarterfinals at this event, and she's already racked up 51 wins this season, 26-4, record on hard courts, and titles in Brisbane, Miami, Madrid. Over the last year, she's been the standard for hard court dominance. And, you know, sure, she's been a little bit tested this week. Raducanu pushed her to a deciding set tiebreak. Monero made it kind of close in that second set, also needing a tiebreak. But I think those matches actually are going to behoove her more than it's going to hinder her, right? I think it's actually going to sharpen her timing and her focus heading into a very huge matchup against Rybakina, who is no easy out. She's one of the cleanest ball strikers in the game. Her serve can take the racket out of anybody's hands, and she's been showing plenty of fight. She's had 3 straight comeback wins this week over Zarazua, Mertens, and Madison Keys, all from a set down. But that's a lot of extra tennis. And when you mix that in with Cincinnati's heat and humidity, it starts to feel like an unfortunate setup for her. She's already played 9 matches during this U.S. hardcourt swing, and all of those extended battles mean extra mileage on the legs. Against Sabalenka, who thrives in this kind of power baseline exchange and has to clear the physical edge in order to beat Sabalenka, that's going to be a problem from Rybakina. Now, the head-to-head is pretty interesting because it's 7-4 in favor of Sabalenka. 8 of their last 11 meetings have gone the distance. This is huge. That's why straight set number here at plus 145 instead of getting something shorter. That's why the line is what it is. These two players tend to play it close. They tend to battle it out. But I think this is the spot where Sabalenka flips that trend. When she starts fast, gets on the scoreboard, and gets that pressure rolling, forces her opponents into a reactive game, she is the best front runner in this sport. I mean, she is in a stratosphere of her own, okay? For me, this match just comes down to energy and intent. Sabs is defending her title. She's been one of the most consistent closers on hard courts the last 2 or 3 years, and she knows Rybakina can push her. She also knows that Rybakina has been pushed to her limit multiple times this week. If Sabs comes out aggressive like she should, if she can land the first serve and keep the rallies on her terms, I really just don't see her letting this one turn into a 3-set grind. The physicality gap will start showing the longer they trade power, and in that fast-paced of a kind of match, I feel like that favors her astronomically, really. The fact that we're getting plus 145 on the best tennis player woman in the world to win in straight sets, in a match in which I think she's going to win this match. Even the money line is a short line here, but the play is Sabalenka to win in straight sets, 2-0 at plus 145, banking on her starting strong, holding that lead, and really just closing the door on Rybakina before she can find the second win. Given the matchup, the form, the heat, the fatigue factor, this play is just really too good to pass up. All right, so we have 2 plays on the board. We're going to be rocking with Aryna Sabalenka in the Cincinnati WTA Masters 1000 quarterfinals. Have her defeating Rybakina in straight sets at plus 145. We're going to do 1.5 units here, okay? So not just 1 unit. We're talking 1.5 units on Aryna Sabalenka to win in straight sets over Rybakina. You're not going to get a line like this pretty much ever with Sabs, okay? So take it while you can. Let's capitalize on this. And obviously we have the 2-leg parlay, Blue Jays plus 1.5, Angels moneyline parlay plus 180 for 1 unit. Okay, so 2 plays, 2.5 units on the board. I'll be back here tomorrow with more plus money plays from around the sports world. As always, my name is Q from Black Sheep Betting, and I hope each and every one of you hit each and every one of your bets. Peace.